Good morning, YouTube. Reseller Mom here with Tina, and it is Friday, TGIF. How are you doing, Tina? We're not
I'm
doing
tired
good.
of fighting with Amazon. I was telling
Uh,
Lucy before we went live, I'm tired of going round and round with the Amazon reps and getting nowhere.
so I think we ought to talk about that for just a second on some of the cases that we are currently fighting and issues going on. So my issues, I've got about three. One is they came back and told me last night that one of my products has asbestos in it, and two links to some articles, and those links aren't real links. They don't go to anywhere, and the product does not have asbestos in it. So you just go, what in the world are we doing here? And then I'm going round and round. I did go live yesterday in the bundle, so in the bundle group, I'll have to go and update that. But we are working through the process to be able to get your brand name out of the title, and everything they keep telling me. I just keep going in a circle. It's like this circular treadmill of crappiness. I don't know. They say do one thing, and then it's like, no, you can't do that, and then it just, their instructions don't make any sense. You can't get a real person, you can't get real answers. And then the third is suspected IP claims. They have been, actually I have four. So suspected IP claims, where you use a word in the title and they get upset with that word, but it's not consistent across the board, which is irritating. And then you do updates, and then they don't want to accept those updates. So that's the other fight. And then the last one was I'm on an arbitrage one, and the description wouldn't go through. It kept saying that there's no description there, but there is a description there. So anyhow, that's the only one they fixed. They fixed that one for me this morning, or at least they said it did. You have to kind of go update, and then you got to wait, and then you got to check, and you got to follow up, because it's like taking care of children. It's ridiculous. Good morning, Nate. Good morning, Armand, Mike, and seller support is awful. Yup. Oh
We
my goodness.
are. It is just, it's getting worse and worse. I was complaining to Lucy yesterday and a little bit this morning when I started selling on Amazon. I want to say a couple years went by. I never had anything on my account health, no notices, no nothing. And it is just progressing more and more. And I would say in the last year, I am putting out fires every month, if not weekly, on
Yeah.
Amazon. Your listing is at risk of deactivation. It's a possible IP complaint. They don't like this word. It's just, I feel like I spend as much time putting out fires on Amazon as I do sourcing the products for Amazon.
Mhm.
I just feel sometimes I want to rip my hair out. It's just like, is this ever going to change with Amazon? I realize they're cleaning up catalogs and making changes and doing the things, but is this the way this is going to be, forevermore with Amazon? Like I am at my wits end of fighting cases with Amazon.
Well, and they're the most ridiculous things. I mean, my product doesn't have asbestos in it. For reals. I'm not. It'd be like saying, these nail clippers have asbestos in it. And you're going, no, no, they don't. I know they don't. They just, So anyhow, we are frustrated, and so if you are thinking about selling on Amazon, this is part of the frustration.
Hmm.
Welcome to the game. It's every job has its pros and cons, and reselling is not alone in that. We have terrible customers, customer support, and technical issues are probably the top three things that people get upset with and frustrated with, because they are frustrating things. And part of that frustration is that it's simple problems, simple things that could be solved with common sense and
Yes.
communication.
hundred
And that's
percent.
the
And I think that's part of the aggravation,
yeah.
or them giving you the canned replies that have nothing at all to do with what you are asking. That's very aggravating. And I feel like I'm a seasoned seller. I'm excellent with fighting with Amazon on cases. I win cases, open cases, fight cases all the time because I know the words and the language to use with Amazon, like a lot of other seasoned sellers do as well. I've written many appeals. I've gotten, people's accounts out of suspension. I know how to talk the language to Amazon. And I feel like when you're a newer seller, how are newer sellers navigating these aggravating things in Amazon? And it's like, and I feel for you all out there, seasoned and new sellers, when it comes to fighting the most nonsense cases with Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Nate says it's rough in these streets. It
It
is.
is, man.
It is, and there's no like when you have these problems, there's no like I have Tina to go and complain to and vent and everything, but you just can't go to your boss and say there's a problem with the system. We need to do X instead of Y because it will solve this problem and get it fixed. There's none of that here because you can't go to Amazon and be like, your system sucks. Because you know what? They know it sucks and they do that on purpose. They do it on
I
purpose.
want to go to human resources over this issue.
Yeah, exactly. They know that that's half of their thing is to provide bad customer service on purpose so that they don't have to pay and do things. It's kind of like the warranties. They tell you, oh, this is a great warranty, but when you look at all the hoops you got to jump through, it's like, okay, no, there's no way you're ever going to issue out this warranty in
Yeah.
my favor. So it's done that way on purpose. All right, so we've got questions today. I got lots of questions, and we got some from our group, our online Facebook group, and then we've got some from YouTube. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them down here, and we're just going to plug away at them. There were some good questions this go around, so interesting things. First up, meltables. Did everybody get their meltables out? Some people were saying, well, what happens to them? They get pulled and then they go into this no zone area and takes forever to get them back to you. So hopefully you all took care of your meltables. First question is there any way to buy the bundle group and skip the training? I am over budget on courses on bundling and feel like I'm advanced enough not to need all the basics. I wanted to address this one because I think it is a good question, and it is hard to tell when to buy something and what to buy, etc. No, we don't have any discounts or anything like that. We have a one-time fee for our bundle group. If you're interested in bundles and you want to know how to do them, come join us. If you're advanced and you know most of the stuff, good for you. Off you go do your own thing. You don't need us. That is fine. If you are wanting to do retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, or private label, pretty much just private label would be why you would join the bundle group. It'd be the same thing, walking through branding and trademarking and all of that stuff. So we do not offer any sort of discounts at this time. We will probably we've talked about like a Black Friday deal, haven't we?
Yeah.
We might do a Black Friday, and we will probably we will be increasing the price. I don't know if we have a time frame with that, but yeah, there you go for that. Let's see, we got nope, just people saying hi. Next question. I see that you put expiration dates on food. Is that required for shampoos too? I shrink wrapped the shampoo, put it in a poly bag, and put the suffocation warning on it. Do I have to put the expiration date on it? Even though the shampoos, there's no expiration date, there is a 12-month from time opening use thing on there. The answer to this is whoever built the listing, if they put that you need an expiration date on there, then you need an expiration date. If Amazon thinks you need an expiration date, then you got to put an expiration date on there. You can try sending it in without an expiration date, and the system will flag you when you go to list it. It will have an expiration date button that you got to fill out. And if it has 12 months on it, my go-to is to just go out a couple weeks, go out like 2 weeks, and then add the 12 months onto that. What do you do, Tina?
Yeah. So just like you said, some of those listings don't require an expiration date. And if you're listing through Inventory Lab because you get that prompt, right? You get the prompt to have to enter it. So I don't put the expiration date on it unless it is required on that specific listing. And I do the same. I set it out a year from when I'm sending it in. It's a lot of times on certain beauty products, it's that expiration starts at the time of opening. Other things it doesn't. And in the real world, shampoo, whether opened or not, can get rancid. If you had bought shampoo
Really?
and oh yeah, and you can smell it. It will smell like musty
Okay.
basement. Yeah, and even if it's never been opened, I know this again because my background is 30 years in the beauty industry. So some things can still go bad even if they weren't opened. Of course, we're not going to be sending in shampoo and having it in stock at Amazon, the same bottle for 2 years. So it's likely something you don't have to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had some shampoos that have been, like a backup or something that I didn't really care for, or at my mom's house or something that are definitely on the older side.
You can
Not-
smell it, they will stink.
Yeah. I have never had one, but okay. I believe you. I believe you. I just don't.
Yeah.
Thank you, Facebook user. Your bundle course is so affordable and so much value. I wouldn't give any discounts. That's how we feel too. Like we already do a ton over there that compared to other bundle groups, I've seen other bundle groups go for 800 to a couple of thousand. And I don't know, we're telling you all the tricks and stuff over there. So
Because we talk about way more than just bundles in there.
yeah. Yeah. That's why we were thinking about changing the name to, like, what was it, branding and bundles or something to that
Yeah, we
effect.
had thought about rebranding it and just changing the name altogether because it really is more than just bundles. Yes.
Yeah. So next question. I'm in a situation with Amazon for deactivated account for the past 4 months. I had a drop shipper, listed his item. The vendor complained IP infringement. The vendor refused to budge. Amazon will not activate the account and keep on and on asking me to submit, resubmit, missing this and that. Is this a bureaucratic error or not? How can you help resolve this? You need a lawyer and you need to not drop ship. That's
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but anybody who's going to sell on any platform, rule one, go learn the rules. Go learn the rules so that you don't get a deactivated account, especially if you are wanting to do something that's maybe not quite kosher. I don't know what better word to use there, but if you want to, I don't know, whatever you're going to sell and you're not quite sure what the regulations are on it, then you need to go and read the policies. Don't
Yeah,
just
because
jump
even
in.
when you know them and you know the rules, you're still fighting battles. So, yeah, if you don't know the rules, you're just looking to be deactivated. And I cannot tell you how many people reach out to me on Fiverr
Yep.
wanting to hire me to teach them or help them with their drop shipping business. And so many people are out there promoting the drop shipping business model on Amazon. And I tell every one of them, I can't help you on that. I don't recommend you do that. And so it's like I don't even work with the people that want to drop ship.
Yes. Me neither. Me neither. I will not help you. I can give you my lawyer's name, Hewitt Law LLC. You can go Google it. That's the other thing. Like, Google is available for all. You all need to use it. And you also need to realize that everybody on social media does not always have your best interest at heart and does not always know what they're talking about. And I hate saying it quite like that, but I have seen bad advice, and maybe it wasn't given as bad advice intentionally. I know I've said things and I come back and I'm like, wait, no, that was wrong. It's really this way or that way. And laws change all the time. The law changes, situation changes, policies change, etc. So just do your research. You've got to be in the mindset that this is your business. You are responsible for it. Take responsibility, ownership, and accountability, and do the research. When I moved my office, I had to research the new city that I'm in and what are my taxes going to be and how do I file that, etc. for my state and local for where I'm at because I moved cities. You I'm going to go to the source. I'm going to go to the source in that instance. Now, do I go to YouTube for other things? Absolutely. Like, I love fishing. I'm going fishing and I live next to Green River. Green River has excellent salmon. So I've been watching YouTube videos on how to catch the salmon there, what's the best bait, etc. But am I going to go to YouTube for the fishing regulations? No, I'm going to go make sure that I'm following the right fishing regulations, because we take our fish and wildlife really serious here. I don't even want to get into that, but you don't want to make that mistake when it comes to the policies and the regulations and use something that is illegal or not appropriate, or catch the wrong kind, etc. So use both resources, but know when to take something as like with a grain of salt, and when something is a rule and regulation. It's just, are you going to read?
Sure. Is there a fix in the works for the labels for FBA shipments that are printing out of sync? I use Inventory Lab for batches. Is there a disconnect between the two? Hope this makes sense. Thanks.
I think that got cleaned up on Tuesday.
Yeah,
But
I have not had mine personally be out of sync, and I did do a shipment this week. Was that yesterday?
mhm.
Yeah, it's like my days are running together. Yesterday or the day before, I don't know. But I did not have that happen, so, I'm not sure. I do know that we are interviewing in about a month another program that is out there that is a competitor for Inventory Lab, due to a lot of the frustrations people are having with Inventory Lab. So, I will be excited to get to interview this company in about a month.
Somebody says they shipped an order last night and the box numbers were wrong still. So Inventory Lab has said just put the right labels on the right boxes. That's the fix right now, why they are working on it. But there was about a week where the API feed was not syncing with Amazon. Now the API feed is syncing, but the box numbers have been printing out incorrectly. And they say just, you know, if you have a 20-pound box and a 30-pound box and the labels come out different, just switcheroo and put the right weight on the right box.
No, but my recent problems with shipments have been I've had now 2 shipments go into Amazon that they're saying that each different shipment, each of these boxes had like 50 items in there. It was a mixture of multiple different items. And they're saying they received just one item. So I sent in 2 separate boxes. So we're talking about 100 units. And Amazon is claiming they have received only 2. And the downside on this, one item in this box and one item in the other box, which is total BS. And the downside of that for me is these were both shipments that were retail arbitrage, not my usual wholesale, the vendors that I have my invoices for. These were 2 different shipments when I had went out and hit the stores of Big Lots and Ross and TJ Maxx. And I don't do those stores usually except during Q4. But recently, I felt like going out and doing some retail arbitrage with the weather good. And now that I'm kind of regretful on that, because I can't prove it with invoices, because Ross and TJ Maxx's and those receipts don't line up with the things that I had. But it really does tick me off, because clearly Amazon, I did not ship you a 30-pound box that had one item in it that weighed 10 ounces. It just really ticks me off.
They'll find it in 6 months and then fix your account. Yeah. Brandy, nice to see you in the chat. Is it Seller Board? Are we interviewing?
No, not Seller Board. Does Seller Board, can you make shipments in Seller Board?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't use Seller Board. I know that they have a really awesome interface. I almost want to get it for the interface to show you the profits and things like that. But I don't think you can do shipments through Seller Board. I could be wrong. Pipe up. If anybody uses Seller Board, can you make shipments through that? I could Google it here in a minute too. I wanted to say also share, Reno had a thing yesterday, and I'm going to share this. If you are having trouble getting on listings that are generic through Seller Central, he was able to list the item through Inventory Lab and didn't have that error that people are having. But I encourage everybody to go watch Tina's video. Tina has a video on fixing up the generic error. It's like when you try to list, or not list it, when you try to, list it in your seller account, it says what does it say? It says you are trying to update a brand or something. You
Yeah.
can't update the brand generic. It gives a weird error and you can't
Yeah, it's like, I'm
jump
not
on the
trying to update
listing.
anything. I'm just trying to send it in and sell it Amazon.
Right. So you need to go fix your account, which I did a couple of weeks ago. And once you get fixed, then you can go through Seller Central. But if you in a pinch, you can list it through Inventory Lab and you don't get that error, which is, I don't know, the weird glitches we talk about, and it's terrible. You cannot make shipments in Seller Board. Yeah, excellent. Thank you for letting us know. I was pretty sure. Good morning. I am in the VA Bolos. How many do you guys buy, and do you go wide, not deep on the sheet? I
It's up
do
to you.
go ahead.
No, I'm saying, like, that's really up to you as an individual. In my opinion,
I
some
usually do three. I'll get
yeah,
three of something and get three of everything. So I will go into the sheet and I will sort it by store. So let's say
yeah.
I want to do all the Walgreens stuff. I'll go look at all the current Walgreens Bolos and then order three of everything that I
And
can.
sometimes I only order one if it's like a clippable coupon situation. Sometimes I'll get one of something. There are items that I got, maybe 3 or 4 of, and they sold really quickly, so I've gone back to order maybe 10 or 12 of them. You just experiment and play with it.
Yeah, some of the shoes, I went in and found some other variations. So I got some that were on the sheet, and then you can always go down those rabbit holes and get a few other of the different sizes or different colors. Brandy
Yeah.
says hers is 2 to 3
2 to
rule.
3, yeah, especially if it's something I've never sold before, right? If I'm
Yeah.
generally not gonna go crazy and go deep on something that I don't have experience with. But once I do, there are some things I'm like, "Oh, I wanna buy all that I can get," right? Once we've already sold it and know that it has such good velocity.
Yes. Yes, there's definitely some that have become replens for me, which is great. And then some that I struggle in my area to get within expiration date if they're
Yeah,
expiration date stuff.
that's why it really just depends, yeah.
Mhm. Yep, yep, yep. Excellent. Okay, back to, let me go up here. Oh, this one. We're going to talk about this for just a second, but it's not going to be. How do you keep track of Canada and Mexico sales on Inventory Lab? Do I add sales and fee numbers in other income? I am going to share my screen because the long short of it is Inventory Lab only does America. They do not do UK. They do not do multi-channel fulfillment. Oh, what is this? Okay, they don't do. There we go. This one. Inventory Lab only supports Amazon US. They are thinking about going international, blah, blah, blah. And you need to account for, I think it was here, to account for things that are not there, you can follow these instructions. And I think it's the same for remote fulfillment and for other, like if you use it for other things. So I'm going to put that in the chat. But essentially, they don't do Canada and Mexico. So how do we account for them? I account for mine. Oh, the URL posted really crummy. Sorry, guys. You might have to copy paste, copy paste. My accounting is done through QuickBooks, and we run A to X through QuickBooks, and A to X pulls every single sale from Amazon. So that's how I account for it. I don't use Inventory Lab as my accounting software. I assume it's the same for you.
I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. I felt it coming. It's been so much fall in here. I've been sneezing a couple times a day for a few weeks now. I don't sell on Canada and Mexico anymore. But when I did, I just let my bookkeeper and accountant, deal with all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Armand.
Let's see here. Facebook user, that might be Brandy, says that I did the same with the shoe find and other stores. Yeah, we've had some good bolos going on
Yeah,
there.
those shoe leads have been really good high dollar finds.
Yes, and I loved mine because they came in packaged so nice. Do you ever get excited when things come in packaged so nice and you're like, I just got to tag and go? Like, good
Oh,
for
yeah.
them. I
Yeah,
don't
I
have
had
to.
got some soaps the other day, like a pump soap,
Mhm.
and it came with a nice plastic deal, to prevent leakage already.
Oh, that's the best. Except
I
for
just hate when
Target.
you buy stuff like that from Target
Yes,
because Target does package it well, but they package it with all the Target logo on it
I
and
know.
all this Target tape. And so then you
Yep,
go, of course, take all the Target stuff off and then redo it yourself.
yep, yep. Uh, all right. I am currently having, okay, this is barcode preference. So this is a very specific barcode preference question. I followed your advice, changed my barcode preference to Amazon barcode in the setting. However, it is still giving me the error about manufacturer label. I have heard that this system could take 24 hours. Do you think it could be the issue? I'm going to try again tomorrow. That's not the issue. If it's still giving you a problem, then your ASIN, your SKU, sorry, your SKU for that ASIN is still in the manufacturer barcode mode. So if you're a new seller, this is pretty, all new sellers are defaulting to manufacturer barcode, which is stupid, but they don't ask me my opinion, right? So you need to go and switch in your account to Amazon barcode, which is an FSNKU sticker. And then if you've already listed it and it's under the manufacturer barcode, you go over to your listing instead of on the drop down next to your edit in your inventory, you're going to click copy listing. No, list in a different condition. I'm sorry. List in a different condition. And then that way you can change it over to Amazon barcode instead of manufacturer. Your FSNKU is not going to change. It's going to be the same. I'm 99% sure it's going to stay the same. Don't quote me on that one. Have you all done a video on A to X? Still don't understand the purpose when you already have inventory QuickBooks from Brandy.
You know what? I will reach out to them and see if they'll come on our show. I think that would be great.
Yes. So we don't have a video. I don't know how we would do, I mean, other than having them on the channel, which would be a good idea. What A to X does is it pulls all the nitty gritties. So it will pull from Amazon that I pay, that I sold this mug for $25, all of the fees, all of the transactions, all of the storage fees, advertising fees, everything down to the pennies over, and it's very accurate on all those small transactions. The problem with Inventory Lab is it does not capture certain things very well, and QuickBooks needs to pull data from somewhere, and it's got to have, it doesn't directly. Chuck had posted that QuickBooks will link up with Amazon as a seller, but it really will only pull what you purchase. So if you are running a business and you buy your whatever pens and papers and crud from Amazon Business, it will pull those transactions into QuickBooks. But as a seller, it's not going to pull all of those micro transactions. I call them micro because it's like down to the penny, and it's, you know how it is like 5 different things for every sale. You've got the fee, and then the fee for the fee, and the packing fee, and the advertising fee, and then the fee for those, and then the extra fee. So it pulls all of that and then can put it in the right categories for you. But it would be good to kind of dive into that. I don't know. I kind of am interested in those. Let's see here. This is a tax question. So again, we're not CPAs, but we will answer the best you can. Do you pay your business taxes quarterly and then report at the end of the year, like, for example, Q1 taxes, Q2, and so on? If you overpaid, do you get that back? I do not know quite what you're talking about.
I think I think they mean paying quarterly taxes. I pay my taxes quarterly so it's guesstimated by your CPA at the end of the year. You know what you would pay quarterly. So yes, I do send in a check quarterly. And last year I actually did overpay, and I am getting a refund of that difference of overpayment.
So that is for federal taxes.
Mhm.
That is what you were talking about. And
Yes.
I do the same. I paid quarterly last year, and I'm getting a return this year. So this year I probably won't pay quarterly, or I'll pay less because they clearly overestimate or underestimate or whatever.
Yeah.
But for sales tax, and I think this was off one of my sales tax videos, for Washington sales tax, I am set up quarterly. I want to say I had the option to do either monthly or quarterly, and we do quarterly. And that is for filing your sales tax in your state. So whatever your state is, Nevada, I think I'm quarterly in Nevada too.
Hmm. I'm
Um,
quarterly, and I always file zero on those taxes because Amazon collects and remits the sales tax on our behalf in my state. I think that is the case in most states now, but that's going to vary state by state. And how you will find that out is you will actually contact your state's local sales tax department.
yes, and my CPA has said that while you're not really going to get in trouble per se by filing zero, what you're supposed to do in the CPA rules of being a CPA, because they have to follow everything to the T. You're supposed to say, I made X amount and then this amount went out. So, I made whatever 20,000 in sales and then 20,000 was done interstate. So it at the end it's a net zero, but technically you're supposed to put that through. Now, she said with people that are not CPAs, they're not held to they don't have their feet to the fire in those types of laws and realms. So putting zero in there is probably fine. Nobody's going to really go after you for it and say anything. I mean, what are they going to do? You already did the sales tax. The states have bigger fish to fry than coming after us right now, which is good. And you want to pay your taxes. I
Yeah.
don't mind that the states are getting taxes. All right. Was that a question? Mike says, here we file monthly, but it's a simple online form. You claim
Hmm.
exempt and deduction zeroed out. Yeah. And
Hmm.
that's, you know, it's, it's the same result. So what are they going to do? Come back and they're not going to come back and say anything. All right. I'm curious. What do you do with clothing returns that are missing their tags?
For me, when I get those, I flip them on eBay or Poshmark, depending what it is, Macari.
Same here, except for underwear, I give to the Goodwill. I don't, I don't, I don't do underwear that it's been taken out of the package. I don't know what they do. I'm gonna give that to whoever else needs it. I'm not dealing with that. I also have a garage sale pile. We're gonna do a garage sale in June, and so we are currently going through. Well, I need to. I really need to go through my closet and anything around the office that's just junk and get it sold at a garage sale and then donate
I
whatever's left.
haven't done that in so many years. I just been
Mhm.
donating throughout the year rather than letting it pile up for a yard sale or garage sale. But the last time I ever did do a yard sale here at my house was the year before COVID was a thing, and
Mhm.
I did make $500. So I mean, it wasn't too shabby.
Yeah, we made, I want to say it was right around $500, but again, we have like personal stuff in there and work
Yeah,
junk.
yeah,
So it
mixture of
wasn't
it.
wasn't too bad. All right, can you talk for a second about somebody had asked in our Facebook group about fair for wholesale. If you want to address that
Oh,
really
that's
quick, that
right.
would be
Yeah.
awesome.
So there is a website called Fair. I'm sure some of you have run across this website. I believe it's FAIRE is how it's spelled.
Yeah.
And I first heard of Fair when I went to one of my trade shows here in my city. A lot of the vendors at this trade show are part of this website. On the website, it states that they don't sell to Amazon sellers. However, I will say that some of the vendors who I have accounts with are on Fair's platform. So I don't think that that is necessarily true per individual account that is on Fair. So think of Fair like Alibaba, except this is in the US. And there are a lot of different wholesale companies that sell to gift shops and regular retail brick and mortar stores, and a lot of mom and pop type of companies. It's candles and clothing and dish towels and knickknacks for your house, variety of this type of merchandise. So you will find if you get on Fair that each individual supplier has their own minimum opening order quantities. It's so Fair is the housing platform for all of these different wholesale companies. So I would say that, can you buy wholesale on Fair? Well, it's yes and no. I think it is up to the individual brand. And so you can look through there, find those brands, and perhaps reach out to them off of the Fair's platform, maybe on their own parent company site.
Okay. So I go back to get used to Googling here, peoples. Here it says, in all instances, we do not permit any of our retailers to sell on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, or third-party stuff. So Fair's policy is no Amazon. The actual people on Fair, you can reach out to them and go down that route if you want. We have some vendors that we've seen that we know have sold to online e-commerce sellers. And again, everybody's policy has changed. COVID made a lot of people who are used to selling to the brick and mortars go, shoot, we don't have any more brick and mortars to sell to. We're going to open up to e-commerce. And we were able to get on the boat with some of those vendors at that time. While others, there was such a push to e-commerce that they had to cap, and they got too many Amazon sellers, and they're like, okay, now we're not taking anymore. So it really just depends on the person and whatnot.
Yeah, and this Facebook user says, I recently got denied for a Fair account and they canceled my order. And I'm guessing it's because they knew you wanted it for Amazon or what have you. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, is whoever that supplier is, whatever that brand, that company was. I can't think of a company on Fair off the top of my head, but I would reach out to them outside of Fair, inquiring about getting a wholesale account with them, because I really think it has to do with the housing of Fair, because you see their policy. But I can tell you, I have accounts with some companies that are on Fair. I did not obtain them through Fair, though. I obtained them through the company themselves, either via a trade show that I visited their showroom. I talked to a rep. Some of them I have found online, kind of on accident, because I was looking for something and where do I get it? Maybe it was something I bought at TJ Maxx and it sold really good. And I thought, oh, well, let me look on the back of this package here at TJ Maxx and, who is this company? And so I'll go to their website and I'll find them online, and I've inquired about getting a wholesale account with them. So some of those companies are on Fair. So that's how I know for sure that some of them are willing to sell to us, but just reach out to them off of Fair's website is my word of advice. One thing I would say, though, is whatever their minimum opening order is on Fair, I am assuming that's what it will be off of Fair as well. And so keep that in mind if that minimum opening order is in your budget. A lot of them are very low. There's been candle companies and soap companies, and their opening order is $100 or $250.
Yeah, this is a great place where you can go and here's a wholesale site that does candles for your stores. So could they do a private label candle? Probably. It'd be worth a shot.
Yeah, that actually says that right there, private label soy.
Where are you seeing that? Oh, I see that. Private
Yeah,
label.
right there. And if you click on their name, does it open up about them, or do you have to be logged in order to get to do that?
It says sign up to shop. I don't know.
Okay.
But what I would do is I would then take this and copy paste,
Go to their
over to
store.
Google,
Yeah.
and see what it is. And you can totally go down that route to find vendors maybe to work with.
Yeah.
And there is a huge difference between attitudes towards people that are just looking to buy their stuff and resell it straight one for one onto Amazon, and those that are looking to buy it and then bundle it up with something or do something more with their product. It's a completely different attitude when you're talking to those vendors. So keep that in mind. Next question is about reports. All right. When you go into Amazon, their question is, at the end of the year reports, why does mine download as a spreadsheet? Well, because if you click CSV, you're going to get a spreadsheet. If you click text, you're going to get a text file. And whichever one you want to work in is fine. But at the end of the year, if you need to pull inventory for the end of the year, or you want to pull reports or whatever, if you're not computer savvy, there's a lot of YouTube out there. I have my, what is it, in Facebook, my feed for the videos is all like Excel tips because I love Excel tips. And there's a lot of stuff that you can learn, and you kind of need to be tech savvy with this business. You don't have to be like super computer savvy, but you've got to be able to set up a printer, set up monitors, check when websites are down, be able to download files and put them into spreadsheets, and be, if you work on a Mac, figure it out for a Mac. If you want to do Google Suite, do Google Suite. If you're in Microsoft, learn Microsoft. Whatever works for you. There's a lot of different options there in terms of files, but one of the things we teach in the bundle groups is about photography and the different files for photography. And there's a way to do Canva. And in your photos for Canva, if your DPI is too low, how to save that as a PDF and then go into the PDF converter and get it to a higher DPI. So at least I think I did a video on that. I'll have to go check. Now I'm trying to think if I did or not. I'm pretty sure I did. Oh, where's my stickies? I always am coming up with things to think about.
I know that I'm always writing, like sometimes you'll say something or someone will ask something. I'm like, oh yeah, I know we've
I know we've talked about it, but I don't know if I did a specific DPI changing video. I'm 99% sure. But anyhow, if you aren't familiar, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, and you're like DPI, JPEGs, whatever, if you're just doing retail arbitrage, don't worry about it. People have already done the photos. But if you're doing your own photos and you're stuck with a stock photo that doesn't have correct DPI and you need to change that DPI, you got to know how to do that. So.
Yeah, because what will happen is sometimes the photos you get and you download them, they're really, really small, right? Or they don't look too small, but when you get uploaded on Amazon, you realize, oh, when you look at the catalog, that your image comes out looking small and not a nice big photo. So then perhaps you'll try to enlarge it, right? And make it 1,000 pixels by 1,000 pixels. Mm-hmm. And then it looks pixelated or grainy. It's not a real clear image. You need to be able to fix the DPIs on these things.
Right, which if you're looking for one, I used to use resizeit.net, which was amazing. I'm so mad they took that away. But if you are following what I'm saying, I'll put this in the chat here in a second. But to convert, you basically go into Canva, you get your PDF, and then you're going to come over here and you're going to go excellent and choose your file and then convert your PDF to a JPEG and get the DPI fixed. So that's the long short of it, but I will make sure that I do a detailed video if I haven't already. I remember doing one, but that doesn't always mean. Sometimes I film something and then it's garbage, so I throw it away, but I can't remember everything. Last question. So this is your call, guys, to like and subscribe on the video. Ask your questions now. It helps us out. It helps us grow the channel here and provide content for you all. So last question was on box preference, and I loved this question in the group yesterday. I can't remember who asked it though. Do you remember?
I don't know that I saw a question on box preference.
Yeah, well, I could bring it up here, but the question was, how do you like to pack your things? Do you go small or do you go large? How do you maximize? RV, yeah, I'll do the video this week, probably after this video. It's a 5-minute thing, so it's quick. So when you pack your boxes, how do you?
Meaning for an Amazon FBA shipment?
Yeah.
And what's my size preference of box?
Well, do you prefer small and mini boxes or try to get it out in large boxes?
I probably I buy my boxes at Walmart. Sometimes I've gotten them at Lowe's or Home Depot, and I prefer the large box. Most of my shipments do go in a large box. So I get quite a few things. So I will have also the medium size box. So probably the medium and large are my most commonly used. Some things I send out are quite heavy, so they can't go in the big, large box because it would end up going over the 50 pounds. So if it's going to end up being heavy, let's say I'm shipping in a bunch of barbecue sauce, that weight is going to pile up quickly. So I use the medium box. Other than that, if I have a whole bunch of clothes and toys and things that are somewhat light, I rather have a whole bunch go into one large box, which is probably why I end up with shipments that have a whole bunch of things in there, and Amazon said they only got one item in my big large box.
Yes, my preference is for very heavy items to go on the smaller side,
Mhm,
and if they're breakable too. So
mhm,
lots of shampoos and stuff. I
mhm.
like to use the 16 by 12 by 8 eBay box that you can get with your coupon if you run an eBay store, and or the just the small boxes. And then for most of my stuff, it's medium or large. And of course, I reuse. William says they're using 22 15 15s
Yep, I
for
like
Pogo.
boxes that size.
Yeah, that's a good size. Good size. In terms of construction, obviously, what is it? U-Haul is kind of the nicer box. Walmart's very cheap and flimsy, and Home Depot just went to kind of a cheap and
Mhm.
flimsy one themselves. Oh, I wanted to talk about this one too. Shay had posted the fan folds from UPS. Did you follow that thread?
Mm-mm. I
All
miss a lot for some reason. I every morning I check the little, you know how you have like your notices on
right.
Facebook. I go down that row. So a lot of times I don't get notices that someone has posted, and then I miss quite a few. So sometimes I'll have to go to the group and scroll down and see what I miss.
Shay was asking about the fan folds from UPS labels that are no longer on the account. And the insight to that was really interesting. So if you run a Rolo, which my next printer is probably going to
Mm,
be a Rolo, I'm I'm ready to jump over to Rolos versus Dymos. The price has come down. So you can get labels from UPS. And what somebody posted was if you don't do X amount of sales, they take that option away from your account. You have to call in and see if you can get it re-added.
mm,
And new accounts still have that option to get the fan folds. What I had found was somebody posted on Reddit that they had gotten rid of the fan folds altogether, but I think that's more appropriate what the people in the group said. Aaron said I had to call UPS. They were not sure why it wasn't showing up. A tech department, they have both available. And then, yeah, it had to do with the account not having enough volume to go through 6,000 labels. So they had their husband open a UPS account and the option was available to him. So I love that.
look, you gotta do what you gotta do. I know I've
Exactly.
talked to them on the phone before about things and ended up getting a rep that marked my account as business because they also saw that I wasn't doing a lot of business with them per se. So I explained how I am doing business with them, but via Amazon. And I don't know if that makes a difference somehow on the back end of our accounts. I really don't know.
I had the worst rep at UPS the other day. So you know the boxes, the free boxes that you can get from UPS. There's a max that you can order per month. It's one or two cases.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I hit my max and I wanted to get some more, so I called. And first up, it took me a few tries to get through the phone tree. If you're wondering how to get through to it, schedule a pickup. That option, whatever that option is, you schedule a pickup and you're going to get a person that says, how can I help you schedule your pickup? And you go, no, I just needed to talk to a rep. I need to order more supplies. I'm at my max on the account. I need to order more of X supplies. And this lady, she acted dumb. She was like, what? What supplies? Why you need to go through the online portal and order supplies. I'm like, no, I'm already at my max. I've been able to call and order more supplies with the rep. That's what I was told by all the other reps. And so she was like, oh, okay. And she ordered me 3 more cases of boxes. But you would think that I was asking her for her firstborn or something. Like, geez, really? Come on. No. Knowing the item number. That's why I have the item number written on the shelf and I have the item number in my notes. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I have the cheat sheet of it's a really long item number.
yep.
Is that the what I gave you, the numbers I gave you
Probably.
for the boxes?
Which I'm trying to read it. My bubble wrap
Yeah, it's a
is.
really long number, and yeah, I obtained that from the rep that I was dealing with that was assigned to me. So RV, you said, do you guys ship UPS when doing fulfilled by merchant? It's not so much that, it's that USPS, UPS, FedEx, all of these shipping platforms offer free supplies. So you can go online, you get an account, and you can order free supplies. Things like stickers and boxes and shipping supplies of that nature. So one of the things that we love, and I made a video on how to do that, was how to get the free brown craft plain boxes from UPS.
Yeah.
And so they only allow you to order a case at a time, and a case has 50 boxes in it. And they come in 2 different sizes. And
But you can
there,
call and get more if you
but
go.
you can call and get more.
Yes. And it takes a bit. Why don't you read that one when I'm going to show which boxes are.
Hello. What's a correct way to buy supplies through Amazon? Is it okay to use my personal Prime, or do I need to go through Amazon without my Prime or apply for Amazon Business? Please clarify. Um, with those, I don't know. I buy all of my supplies, being poly bags and tapes and things of that nature. I buy them through my Amazon business account. However, that is the only Amazon account I have. And I know we've talked before. I know Lucy has mentioned about we're not supposed to be buying tax-free our shipping supplies because we're not reselling those supplies. We are using them for business. I know we've talked about this before.
So I believe, and this again, I'm not the CPA here. So when you buy through business with tax exempt, and there is a way to do it without tax exempt, but when you buy with tax exempt, it needs to be through your Amazon business, and this is for items that are going into your product for the intent of resale. So I do my poly bags tax exempt because that's going into my product. I have other things that I use for items that I will get through my business account. Then I will sometimes buy with my Prime account if the price is cheaper. Honestly, I have had times where I go into my business account and we'll say, a pack of poly bags is $49 and it's tax exempt. And I go over to my regular Amazon Prime account and it's $42. And I'm going, okay, well, I don't want to save $4 in tax to pay $8 more. That doesn't make sense. So can you buy with your Prime account, personal Prime account? Yes, if it's not for flipping. Like, I'm not going to flip these poly bags, right? That's not what I'm buying it for. Now, let's say you're buying Squishmallows. You want to buy it with your business Prime account because you want that tax exempt because you're going to flip those Squishmallows and you're buying them from Amazon, and you need to not buy it on Amazon Prime Business. So essentially there's kind of 4 accounts. You can have regular Amazon, Amazon Prime, business regular, business Prime. So when I am buying business stuff, I do not ever buy Prime with my business account because you're not supposed to do that for flipping. And some of my items are for flipping, some of them are not. So boy, I just probably just made that really more complicated than what it was. Let me see if I can try again without being.
If you're going to flip it, you want to buy it without paying tax. If you're buying it to use as a supply or for personal, you want to buy it paying the tax. There you go.
Yes. And if you are going to buy and flip, don't do Prime and do it through your business account, business non-Prime. But yeah, I've had more and more things that I go into my business account. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get a deal on this. And then I go over to my regular account and I'm like, okay, I'm not saving any money. They marked it up for businesses, which is silly. This is the boxes. So I put the link down for the numbers, which is this number right here, 010195 and 217, and see how I've exceeded my quantity. I've exceeded my quantity. So if you call and you're like, I need to order more, they're going to ask for that number. So get that number handy. And I did not have I'll look for the labels here, see if I can find a label number, but I don't think
Yeah, and you need to have
got
a
it.
business account with them. And it doesn't cost money to have a business account, but when you sign up for your account, you need to sign up under business because you are, in fact, a business using this for business.
Yep, 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 yep.
So
I'm
when I
trying.
sell my merchant fulfilled items through Amazon, I am buying those labels through Amazon and just slapping them on these boxes.
Yeah. And then this
And the
is,
post office has a lot of good free supplies. I really love the post office's bubble mailer. I really love that bubble mailer. I will use that bubble mailer, sometimes two of them on one item, something that a bubble mailer makes sense, but I really want that extra padding. Let's say it's a tumbler cup, even though it's plastic, something like that, that will fit in there. And then I can really roll it up in the bubble. And then I'll put that bubble mailer with that it's inside of in another bubble mailer. So it gets really that extra padding. Their bubble mailers are great. And then they're flat rate, right? So I don't know what that flat rate is off the top of my head. I'm going to say now it costs $8.65. I don't know, but it's roughly that much. So then you also know what your shipping is going to be when you're working in your pricing, be it for eBay or Amazon.
yes. And I mean, this is where you go back and you go read
Oh,
the
I was close,
policies.
880.
880. Nice. I think I had 893 in my head, but it if you purchase through eBay or a discounted shipping site, then it's slightly different too. And I have had, since they last changed the shipping, I think it was in January, it is cheaper to buy my shipping through Facebook now than, or not Facebook, through eBay now rather than going through Sendle, which is kind of interesting. It was a bigger discount a long time ago for Sendle. It was made it much more
Shipping
economical.
rates have been jumping around in the last 12 months. So
Yeah. Yeah. Now, when you get into the, okay, we'll talk about nitty gritty with the shipping policies and stuff. If you violate the post office shipping policies, it's like a federal crime or something. I don't know. It's really bad if you violate the stuff. Um, what I see on YouTube sometimes is people saying, "Oh, use the padded flat rate and you pad your item and then you stick that in another non USPS mailer and do that." Can you do that? Sure, you can do a lot of things. Are you supposed to? No, that violates a that violates a law. You are not supposed to use their materials incorrectly. That's why back in my day when I started this business, the priority boxes were blank on the inside, and you'd have people that would just cut them, flip them inside out, and use them as a non-priority box. And that's why they're now printed on the inside and the outside to prevent that misusage. Are you going to get caught and go to jail? No, probably not. I don't think they've ever done that. But should you be doing that? No. So read the policies, make sure you understand. I got something from eBay the other day and they did that. They took a padded flat rate, they wrapped up my item, it was a coffee mug, and then stuck it in a box and used the post supplies to pad the cup coming in the regular mail. Should they be doing that? No, but I'm not going to rat somebody
I feel
out.
like there's a gray area in there. Let's say I did that. Let's say I use the
I'd
bubble
turn you in, Tina.
trailer and put the coffee cup down in the box. Sometimes that box will fit in a padded envelope. So I feel like how I do it, where I use, and it's not like I do this all the time, but where if I'm using two of their padded mailers, I don't feel like I'm violating a policy. You know, if I wrapped up your cup in the padded mailer, put it in a cardboard box, and that cardboard box fit down in that padded mailer envelope, I'm still shipping it, paying USPS that padded mailer rate, even though I used two of their mailers to do it. I don't think that's that big of a deal.
Here's how I equate the difference too. Let's say you're going to McDonald's and you're getting a hamburger and some fries, and at the end, you're out of ketchup at home and you take a few extra ketchups. Is that really a big violation in my terms? No. Whatever. But if you are actively going to McDonald's and stealing all of their ketchups, their free ketchups, you're taking all of their ketchups, and then you're taking all those ketchups and squeezing them into a bottle and selling that ketchup on the street,
Good Lord.
No, come on. Like, there's a lot of gray area, and I don't think you should actively get supplies and misuse them for things. So,
And if
I don't know.
people do that, they have way too much time on their hands.
Yeah.
I gotta get stuff out quick. I don't have time to be doing all of that.
Well, and if I were to go to the post office and get those flat rates and use them all to move my kitchen and put all my mugs in and move my kitchen with, no, that's wrong in my opinion. But I am using all my shipping supplies for shipping,
For
and I pay a
shipping.
lot of freaking money for shipping.
Are you guys 100% FBA in the VA BOLO group? Well, that just depends on the person buying the thing in the group, right? I mean, you can buy the item, but it's your choice if you're going to do it FBA or merchant fulfilled. I know some people do both, but what all the members do or don't do, I'm not sure. I think that's your preference.
I would say, obviously Tina and I, we don't know. We don't when you sign up, you're you, and you can tell us whatever you want, but we don't have access to your store or anything like that. So I would say most of our members do FBA, but I have had several say, I bought this off the sheet. I listed it merchant fulfilled because I haven't been able to send it in, and it sold out. So now I'm
Yeah.
buying more
Yeah.
with some of our clothing and our shoes and stuff. Am I shipping expensive shoes FBA or FBM? I send my stuff in right now. I'm in an FBA model right now. I have things FBA. I'm sorry. Did I say FBA or FBM? Anyhow, I send my stuff in. I send it to Amazon because I'm
And I'm
not
sure they're
really.
asking because of the recent months of people's shoe shipments going missing. I am sure
That
that's
is
what's
true.
prompting that question on your shoes that you're sending in.
The shoes that I bought recently were between $10 and $20, and I bought 15 of them. So I was fairly confident sending them in, though, because I was sending them in with a whole bunch of other stuff. So hopefully they don't. I don't have a whole lot missing or stolen from Amazon, which is great. I'm going to knock on some wood right now, but
I never did, but recently I've been struggling with shipments and inventory that just never arrives.
Adria says, Andrea, Andrea. Oh, sorry, Andrea. Yes, I got books from eBay. The books were in a USPS box in a generic bag. Yeah. And that's where I'm going,
I
okay.
think that's okay. Why? If you bought books from eBay and the books were in the USPS box, they've paid for that USPS box. If the bag inside of the box is generic, what's wrong with that? What am I missing?
Well, we're really splitting hairs down at this point, but you are misusing their box
How?
because the box is supposed to be what it's shipped in. That's what it's meant for.
Well, I'm understanding it was shipped in a USPS box.
In
So
a
if you're
generic
shipping
bag.
in a
They put
USPS
the
box and
box
you're paying for
into
a
a bag.
USPS, huh?
They put the box into a bag.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. The bag was inside of the box. Okay, I had it backwards.
The box was inside the bag.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a generic bag of books down in the USPS box. You see, I read it that way.
Yeah. And that's where we're getting into like, okay, I'm not going to rat any sellers out for that, but it's not, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to ship things out. We've all been there. We've all,
Yeah, and if I
packaged
got
something
something
a little
like
bit too
that in the mail where they put the USP box down into a generic bag, I personally wouldn't care. But
big.
that's me. So, we're all different. That wouldn't bother me at all.
Where it starts to get more and more hairy is if you took that USPS box, used it for the book, put it in a bag, and then shipped it UPS. That's where they start to get a little more upset because now you're using their supplies and you're paying shipping to somebody else.
Yeah.
I try to keep the shipping on the same account, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm shipping out a ton of things, so I don't feel really that bad. All right, I wanted to share this one really quick. This is currently what you can get for your Rollo machine, but it is the rolls, not the fan fold, which I've seen some pretty clever ways to put that roll up for the Rollo. That's probably what I'll do. I'll probably just get those rolls. You get 473 labels per roll. The other one, which is, what'd you say, 6,000? But I don't think it's 6,000 for each fan fold. I think it's 6,000, but several fan folds. Do you know, have you ever bought the fan folds?
I have not.
Okay. Well, I will go down that. There's so many things to think about
Mhm.
in this world. So selling FBM, what shipment method gets you sales over FBA? Is it just about price? I'm not doing FBM professional, but I'm doing individual. Could that be why no sales? Yeah. Okay, so the person who has the 6,000, can you tell me, is it all one stack with 6,000 labels? Because that'd be awesome. For FBM, you're not going to get as many sales FBM as you are FBA unless there's no FBA sellers or it's something really, really hot. Period. It's really tough to get those sales FBM over FBA at this time of year. And again, I don't sell much. Marcy, who's doing well, I texted her the other day. She's doing very well. She does all clothes, and she goes after clothes from retail arbitrage stores that are high end. And in that case, she can be just a few dollars cheaper than the FBA. And because of her location and it being a hot item and it being higher end, she will get sales, or at least that's what she says she does. So I can't speak for me because my FBM does not really move outside of Q4. But then again, I don't tailor my inventory for it. What do you guys use for picking up your shipment for FBA? I remember you saying $4. Pirate Ship.
Pirate
And Pirate Ship. It is so amazing. It's $3.80 to $4. They will come and pick up all the boxes. And it's great. I know I have good relationships with my UPS people though, so now they just pick it up without me paying. So I like that. If I do need to have something more permanent, then I will schedule a pickup. Thank you, Nate. It's a box of 6,000, 3 boxes of them. So 2,000 a label then? 2,000 a stack.
Yeah, and then
There
the
are
Facebook user says there's 2 stacks side by side. My guess is it's 3,000 on each side. I usually reach in and grab a stack of 2 or 3 inches and tear off the stack.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gearing up to go that way. Same with, I've been on the fence with getting one of those tape gunny things. That's the glue. I don't really want that goober stuff on my fingers. That's my big hang up there. I don't like
I
all
love
this.
I have the regular tape gun, and then I have the 3-inch wide tape gun. I love that one for my boxes.
Yeah, I do the 3-inch wide on my large Walmart boxes. That's so nice because if you do the little one on the big Walmart boxes, it just doesn't hold together very well.
Mm-hmm.
My UPS guy hates my dog, so he hates coming here.
Aw.
Oh no, you gotta do. I have a jar of dog treats at the front door, for the delivery peoples to give the dogs. But my UPS people, man, I treat them like gold. I'm like, hi, come in, let me help you load. Can I get you a water? Here's some chocolate. So they like
You're
coming
so
here.
handsome. You look so pretty.
Well, mine is a girl, but I could say that to her. She does look very pretty. And then I have a nice restroom too. So a lot of times they're like, can we use your restroom? Yep, absolutely. You're picking up my stuff 3 times a week for free. So for $12 a week, you're saving me. You can have some water and some cookies and things. Messy tape thing. See, Nate, fingers sticky all the time. That's what I don't think I can do it. I'm going to stick with the tape gun for right now. The Amazon guy just says what a great dog he is. Yeah, he's protecting your house. It's a good dog. My dogs hate all the delivery people. Hate them. Just my dog one time ran out and bit the truck, and the UPS guy was just laughing because he's like, "What? I mean, what are you gonna do? You bite the truck, you're gonna break your tooth, you dumb animal." I don't know what she thought she was going to do, but we really think in her previous life she was run over by the UPS truck. She just has a deep hatred for
I
that.
have a fun story. My mom's
Yeah.
friend, who I call her aunt. You know how you have those family friends that you've known your whole life.
Yep.
When she had this cat, his name was Howie. And when Howie, he's no longer alive, but when Howie was alive, he loved when the mailman came. And
Hmm.
so Howie would always walk down the driveway to the mailman, get in the truck with the mailman and drive. He would do, like, his stops down the street. And when they got to the end of the block, Howie would get out of the mail truck and run back home. He did this every day. And so the mailman loved it. And so, which was cool. But yeah, Howie was a pretty cool cat.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I used to have the best mail guy, and he retired and moved to somewhere with a beach, and I'm so jealous. But my mailmen now at the house, which I don't see because I'm here in the office all the time, but they stuff everything. We've got one of those locking mailboxes because we've had so much mail theft, and they stuff everything into that box, man. If it's somewhat could maybe fit in there with a little extra shoving, it's very annoying. But you have your good ones, you have your bad ones. My current mail guy here, he's pretty nice. He's nice. He's not very talkative, but that's all right. I don't need to talk to you really. He's pretty good. Well, what are you doing for the rest of the day, Tina?
Well, in a little bit, I have a coaching call to do. I'm working on another client's listings, and I'm going to color my hair today.
What are you coloring it?
The same. I'm covering the grays. There's grays in there.
I think you look fine. Amelia says, I think it comes to 4 sets equal to 6,000. I can't remember. Okay, so we've got anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000, somewhere in there for the 6,000 set.
Can you please go in there and count each one? No.
Yeah, it's been really quick. No, it'll be easy. That's one of those things that I just ponder.
Oh, the other thing I forgot is I will be fighting more cases again today. I'm going to end this show with how I started it, annoyed with Amazon because I have to go back in there and continue to fight these cases that, it's like I don't even know if I'm going to win it. And it's almost to the point where I don't care because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this fight. Arrgh.
Yes.
Does
Tina,
anybody relate? You have to. If you're selling on Amazon, you have to relate to being aggravated at fighting with Amazon reps.
oh yes. Facebook user wants to know your coaching. So go find your link
Lucy
really
and I
quick.
are both on Fiverr. We both do Fiverr. I know I have Fiverr links to mine under my YouTube videos.
Well, go find the link and put it in here real quick.
I'm trying.
Andrea uses a shampoo that makes the grays more silver. I like that idea. I think that'd be
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah, if
idea.
you are already like all white or silver, I think that might be my link. I think that gets you to it. um, but Bob and Weave, yeah, Bob and Weave with that Amazon rep. I may request a call today. I don't know if I can get the call to come through. What was I saying? Was it about the grays? Oh, yes. If you're all white and you're kind of like that silver haired, using the stuff that makes it more silver is actually very, very beautiful. I'm still more brown than I am gray. So I'm still coloring. But if I ever get all the silver hair, I will keep that. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got several cases to fight with Amazon, and I'm going to have to call. And I really hate calling and being like, can I talk to somebody that's not stupid? But that's really what I want to say.
Yeah.
Instead, I will call and I'll say, can I have the catalog team? Then you wait on hold. And then you say, can I have a supervisor? And then you wait on hold. So it's at least 30 minutes of hold just to get to somebody that makes sense.
And then after all of that, sometimes you still didn't get
Yeah.
your problems solved. Sometimes you do, and you're like, oh, thank God it's a great day. And then you're like skipping and smelling the roses, and it's the greatest day in the world. But then there's days like today for me where I'm extra grumpy about it because I have already been fighting with them for days on this issue. And the problem keeps getting worse, not better. So with each case I open and fight with them. Yesterday, I had an online chat with a rep. The situation is going even worse. It's going in the wrong direction. It's just like, I want to jump through my computer screen and be like, do you understand what I'm saying? I got so mad yesterday. I did like the angry all caps typing. So maybe they're taking it out on me because of my all caps. Yeah.
Oh, I've had some that were so bad, and they say, "Oh, okay, so you want to do, let me see if I understand this right. You want to do blah, blah, blah." And I say, "No, you did not understand me. Could I get somebody that understands English better than what you're, what you understand?" After like three times, they've repeated it to me wrong. And they say, "No, I speak English fine." I said, "No, if you spoke and understood English fine, you would be able to understand what my problem is, and you're not understanding what my problem is. So I need to get to somebody that understands what I'm talking about. And you've repeated it back to me three times, not correctly. So you don't understand." Like, that's, if I say I want to change this and you say blah 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 blah, it's not right. It's, and anyhow, yeah, gearing myself up for that. I might, um what do you mean? There is no Amazon number now, RV. There's no Amazon number. They took all the numbers away. They took all the emails away. So all of the videos and previous things that say email, notice dash support or whatever it was, IP dash support, all of those emails are now a bounce back no go.
Hmm.
And all of the phone numbers are not good. So what you do is you go in, you create a case, and you have them call you. So you have to request a call through your Seller Central. I
Yes.
told them to stop copy and pasting. "I will report you to a supervisor." I love
For
that one. Yeah.
real, for real, I need to do that. And the thing is like now it has my account health score down at 287 because what I'm being flagged for, it was an Easter item that I no longer have in stock. And I always keep them open in case of returns, just in case I get them. And then I'll delete these types of listings. But I used the word Snoopy in the title because it was a Snoopy Easter item. So Amazon flagged me for a possible IP complaint. It wasn't a retraction from the rights owner, or it's those possible IP complaints that Amazon flags you for. Well, the
Mhm.
rep is saying, well, you need to get the rights owner to retract it. There's no rights owner claiming anything. You are. And it's like all you have to do is take the word out. So I took the word out of the title. I took the word out of the bullet points. I took the word out of this description, the back end. I removed every trace of the word Snoopy in this listing and asked for them to please update the listing that I've removed the infringing word to comply with Amazon's policy, blah, 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 blah. And then they hit me back with, well, you need to have a letter of authorization from the brand owner or get them to retract their claim.
Yeah.
So now the listing was still like active, but now it's to where we've now deleted your listing and now you get the dog on there. Like with each case I open, it keeps getting worse and worse. So now I'm like getting that we've pulled your listing, you have violated our policies, really, because I've been fighting with you for days now to get you to update the listing and remove the word Snoopy as I did. Then they're telling me, well, you have none in stock, you need to have it in stock. I need to have it in stock for you to take out the word Snoopy. What if I sell one in the interim? So it's just like
Yeah.
what you were saying makes no sense to me.
Yeah. That, talking to Siri. Yeah. I can't even say
Exactly,
her name.
Andrea.
She,
So for those
yeah.
of you letting me vent and rant, thank you. I hope you relate to what I'm saying
Well, this
and
is
have
why
felt these frustrations as well.
I build up these cases through the week, and then about, well, probably weekly I call in reality. Anyhow, I get somebody on the phone, and it takes a while to get somebody on the phone. So I set up my packing, I set up my whatever I'm going to do while I'm on hold, and I could probably memorize all the hold music by now. I wish they would update their hold music and make it clear, like it's scatting. Classical in a fuzzy mode is harsh to listen to, and I think that's on purpose as well. Just saying that they do that so they annoy you. But get somebody on the phone that's good. Brittany, if you ever get Brittany in the States, she's in the East Coast. I want to say Ohio or something, but she's amazing. So I always try to get Brittany. There's a couple other that I like, that if I can get them, I know I got somebody good. So I got all my questions for them.
Amen to this, saying that we understand your frustration. No, no, you don't. And that's
Yeah,
also one of their canned replies. So they
yeah.
can show empathy. So I know the company updated some of the replies to show empathy to us as a seller. So we'll calm down and quit typing in all caps.
Exactly. Exactly. I understand your frustration. And I said, no, you
No, no, you
clearly don't.
don't.
Otherwise, you would tried to help me. That, and I love, because by the time I call them, it's like I've done your first, second, third suggestion and it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
So they'll start saying, "Oh, well, have you done this?" "Yep, done that. Didn't work." "Okay, well, have you done?" "Yep, done that. Didn't work." So,
Yep, did
they,
that, that, and that. And then I
that's
have
why
to
I,
counteract all their bullet points. One, get the brand to retract the claim. This is not a brand that is making this claim. It's Amazon because they don't like this. Then I have to correct their bullet points one by one. I will copy and paste their whole things, what they suggest, and then I put in all caps, so they can differentiate between the two, not because I'm yelling,
yeah,
explaining why that doesn't work, why that doesn't work, why I tried that, that doesn't work.
yep, exactly.
Maybe we should turn it around. I understand your frustration and not understanding what I'm telling you. I understand you're frustrated you can't do your job. Now I'm just being mean.
Yes. Andrea says, "Can you ask for a specific person?"
I
No.
wish. I
I
wish.
I have my favorites, but no, you cannot. And then RV says, "For your return address, do you have a PO box so a distributor can't find out you're selling on Amazon?" I have several addresses in Amazon for
Uh-huh.
my store website. It
Hmm.
is my PO box. For my return address, it's the warehouse here because it needs to come back here. During Q4, if I ship out merchant fulfilled, it goes back to the PO box. So that's why during Q4 I got to go stop at the post office. Um, Otherwise, like I own a small little box, and if I get big returns, they put in a big box and put the key. And I go there during Q4. I'm like, oh, I got 4 keys. They're probably upset with me. I haven't been in a while. So I often have to remember to stop by there during this time of year. I'm maybe remember to check once a month. I'm pretty bad at that, but that's okay. I have the PO box for all those things. And when people send me IP letters in the mail, it goes to that PO box. That's why I don't get them, and I don't care. Like whatever, it goes right in the trash. I just recycle it right at the store there. You clearly got my number off of my Amazon store page and you don't know me, and I'm buying from authorized distributors, so right into the trash. Which was my ed letters. When I moved into the office last year, I didn't go to the PO box all of like February or March and April when I was moving in here. And I got there and I had my first, second, third, and final notice in my box from Ed Rosenberg. I think I saved them because I wanted to frame them and put them up in the new office, but I don't know where they are right now. I got to clean the house. That's why we got to have the garage sale. We got so much junk, just junk that needs to be sorted out. This time of year, it's a good time to clean house. Well, I've got a couple of calls with people as well, and I've got stuff to pack out. I need to get like 200 items packed out today, really. That's kind of my goal. Because I'm going out all weekend. We're going clamming on Sunday morning. Sunday morning, low tide. I'll be on the coast getting the clams, and then we're going to fry up clams on Sunday night. And then if we get our limits, I'll do clam chowder on Monday night, which will be amazing. I'm super excited. We're super thrilled. I don't think my dog's going to like it, my little dog, but the rest of us are thrilled. Thank you, Andrea. So yeah, if you're in any of the groups and I'm not responding it to you, it's because my husband has said that if he catches me working for 48 hours, I'm supposed to take all 48 hours off. And he says if he catches me working, he's going to throw my phone into the ocean.
Uh-oh. Yeah, and if I don't respond, it's just because I haven't seen it. So tag me if you need my attention.
Definitely, definitely. I'll still respond to you though, Tina. You don't go into that. I'm gonna sneak. I will sneak in and be around. But when I'm not fishing and bringing them in, I'm gonna go for surf perch on tomorrow afternoon when we get there. So
Well,
I'm
you
super
need a
excited.
nice fun break, so I'm happy for you. I hope you enjoy your time.
I will. Nothing like getting out in nature and just clearing your head and taking a deep breath with the ocean breeze. All right, everybody. You guys have an excellent day and weekend. And if you are watching this on the replay, ask your questions away if something wasn't clear, or if you have different questions, ask here or ask in the online group. We're there
Yeah.
too. All right. Take care. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.